What's going on, you vexed vestigial vagina vacuoles?
It's a lot of V in there.
I know, it's a lot of V in there. I mean, well, you've been to the barracks. Was there more V in there? Or was there more D in there?
There was, well, in the in the Army barracks,
Yeah.
there was a small minority of women who wanted to be the center of attention on a regular basis.
The hub and the Richard salad.
Yeah, and it would be fairly common for one of these ladies to sneak in on the regular, and then we'd wind up with like 10 or 15 guys for the vada. And the next day, you see a bunch of guys road marching.
They're all itching.
They got the vada.
They got the vada. You going on sick call? What for? All right, VD.
Yeah, vada.
The vada. What's up, vada?
Oh, my God. It's hilarious.
It's just bad news bears all around, man. So how's it going? Welcome to Grunt Speak.
Nah, it is live, actually.
Live from the lair. I'm Toxic Male. That's the chubby chastener.
I'm fighting to be unchubby.
Unchubby. He's working on it. You know, you fit into your 20-year goal pants.
I did.
Bell bottoms.
No. Just standard jeans. God, what an asshole.
Well, I mean, I'm not the only person who thinks of, like the 1970s as 20 years ago. Like, that's right. 20 years ago was 2002.
Yeah, bell bottoms.
Fuck.
I was wearing cowboy flare jeans in like grade school and middle school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and then I just went to just regular Levi's 501s. That's it.
Rock on. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're still on strike from YouTube, so we got 139 currently watching on the archive channel. If you guys don't know about that one yet, and you're on the new tech platforms, look it up, check it out.
Yeah. And from now on, all supporter streams are going to be on MGTOW.
Oh yeah. Well, because it's the best chat on the internet.
It is. It's actually
no restrictions whatsoever on what you can post.
Yeah. And I want to thank the guy who sent this in.
Yes, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Look at that. I'll be drinking a shot of this.
That's like $120, $130 bottle of tequila.
It's over the top, but it is. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah.
I love to drink a shot of put your dick in the fat chick and fuck the police. That's the effect tequila's had on me in the past.
No, never.
Oh. Yeah, I get in trouble with that shit.
Well, I'm sure you're not the first and you won't be the last.
Nah.
But we do have some Christmas gifts in addition to that have come in the mail. So I'm going to click this over to here and we're going to dive right into these.
So we got
real quick. And then we have a special guest tonight. Look at all this shit here. Smoked salmon. What is all this stuff? Werther's Originals? No, there's no originals. Alaska Gold Nuggets.
Yeah.
Caramel.
We used to call this the Army resupply packet.
Nice.
Got the smoked salmon. I got 2 pairs of socks here. I got a King Dong pair of socks.
King Dong.
And a Pringles pair of socks. Awesome. Of course, we got to have a few of these. You got to throw down the hallway. Ooh, yeah, these are good.
Rock on.
Birch, yeah, caramels. Awesome.
Oh, caramels are,
Yeah.
Delicious.
And hot chocolate, sea salt hot chocolate. I have to try that. And Raven Brew Coffee, Double Dead.
Double Dead?
Yeah, Double Dead dark roast coffee.
Double Dead.
Never heard of that brand. I got some rubs for the barbecue, flavorings, salmon jerky.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you so much.
I didn't know you could make jerky out of salmon.
Anything that's dead, you can dehydrate.
Well, I'm sure. I just never would have thought to try it.
Yeah. I got a thing of candy here I got to open up later.
Of course.
And a t-shirt.
You got all that candy, and then Evil Pop is going to come out of the box around like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And you're going to find a whole bunch of wrappers stuffed under your pillow.
Pretty much. And here's a letter for him.
That was all in one box?
It's all in one box, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. You want to talk about, hacking it economically.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who is that from? Who can we thank?
Anonymous viewer from Alaska.
All right. Well, I'm sure it's nice and cold up there. Enjoy your polar bear swim.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate this. I
Hell
really
yeah.
do. And we're 8 away from 500.
Just 8 more.
8 more, man.
And then once we get to that, we have 2 more boxes with a letter specifically for when we hit 500 from Crusader Nate. So, Nate, thank you very much for that. We're keeping it as a surprise.
And we also have a letter to read now, don't we?
No, we read that one.
Oh, we read that one? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's all good, brother.
Yeah, and I ran into a guy at the GNC by my house. Literally, he walked up and hugged me. I was like, what? You know, we took a selfie and he put it on my Facebook page.
Like you're lucky I don't just punch people who ran up and hug me, man.
Well, no, I walk in there. He's just like, your tears pop. And I'm like, yeah. I was going to say, what? No.
Well, it's nice to be recognized without 2 beers in your hand.
Yeah. I got like across the street at 7-Eleven, I had a guy recognize me by my voice.
Well, there you go.
Like, literally, I was just like, what? And he's just like, that's Terrence Pop. Walks up and goes, it's you. And I'm like, oh, shit. You caught me, dude.
Couldn't hide it. Reaper 01's watching the show in VR.
Ooh, virtual reality.
That's got to be weird.
Well, the VR thing is what's destroying Meta. Because he wanted to turn Facebook into this virtual reality thing.
Well, that and Meta is just the whole idea is stupid.
Yeah, listen, it's like when I would tease soldiers for playing Sims. I'd be like, all right, you're playing a book or playing a game about living in a simulated world while you live in a real world. Like, what the fuck is that?
I got nothing for you.
I got nothing for you either.
But before we get too far into the show, I want to introduce our guest. Well, I don't even know if I have to introduce him. Everybody has been demanding that he come back now for the last 2 weeks.
All right.
And here he is, Lord Zedd.
Hello there, everyone, and thank you for inviting me for the 3rd time.
You are
No
welcome
problem, bro.
anytime, good sir.
And
Well-
Blake, we are just 5 minutes in, and I have to thank you for a horrifying vision of Pop wearing bell bottoms.
Oh, you're welcome. Like I said, I draw the line in the sand, and on that side, he's in his bell bottoms with his fake beer. And over here, I got Texas bourbon, thanks to Texas Rail Dog. Winning.
Yeah, that's some good stuff,
Nice.
too.
But you got the $130 bottle of tequila, so
I am.
it all evens out.
And listen, I'll never be able to throw this out because it's such a good bot. I mean, look at this.
Oh, no, yeah, that's one you keep.
Yeah, I'm keeping this one.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend, rolling over and looking at it in the middle of the night.
No. But, when I run out, I'll probably use it to put other tequila in there because it's such a good vessel.
Yeah, you just, put it over here. You take, like, the cheap stuff and then put it in there.
Yeah.
Actually invite a woman over. What's that? That must be the good stuff. Yeah, it is, baby. Tastes just like Cuervo. Yeah, it's all the same.
It doesn't matter. Well, listen, I spent a lot of time going across the border into Tijuana. And literally, when I was there, now this is a while ago, there were street vendors selling mezcal. That is like one below tequila.
Yeah.
And like, I'll have some tequila. He has like this big cup. He's like, God
Oh,
damn.
boy.
I was already half in the bag before I even got to the bar. I mean,
Yeah, that'll mess you up.
it was
Yeah,
awesome.
mezcal gives you absolutely horrible hangovers.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Worse than Ouzo.
No, because
Maybe
that was
equal.
a bad headache.
Well, you drank your vomit.
Yeah, Uzos drink your vomit. I hate that thing. It was either that or get thrown out of the bar, man. I'm not a quitter.
I don't know if I've ever wanted to see titties in my life that bad.
I ain't no quitter, man. Oh,
That's so nasty.
Stop it!
Oh.
You're making me nauseous.
Look, what's worse, telling the story or living the story?
Living the story.
That's what I thought.
But the thing is, because I lived it, whenever you talk about it, it makes me sick.
I can't shut off the filter to my thinking.
I can't.
It sucks.
That's the way it goes, bro.
It is the way it goes. And, I wish I could say that I'm sorry. But I'm not. It is what it is. You did it.
Wait a minute. Leave that butt up there.
Quality.
That's a very, very tight market right there. You got maybe 2 years to enjoy that before she goes full Tyrannosaurus Rexitis, and you wind up with a woman with big legs and long tits.
Well.
And don't forget cottage cheese.
Oh, God, yeah. The devil's braille.
The devil's braille.
I'm borrowing this.
Write that shit down.
Right now.
Devil's braille. All right, I have to. The devil's braille. Oh, that's going to be a new porno movie for like the BBWs out there.
Oh, speaking of which.
Please no.
I want to know if we can actually get in touch with the guy that did... we were in one of those videos where he did the voiceovers for the guy.
Oh, Brett.
Brett, yeah.
Yeah, Brett Mauser.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get him on board to see if he wants to, work on a possible actual project.
Oh, heck yeah, man. And I was talking with him not too long ago. I let him know that we're going to be doing just a Christmas stream a week from today. So make sure you're here. It'll be back on the regular YouTube channel by that point. But you really should be watching this on New Tech, just so we're clear.
Listen, we can go into a lot more detail, and we can actually share sources and stuff, because there are a lot of links that you can't even put on YouTube.
Yeah.
Same thing with Yahoo and Google.
Yeah. And this may be one of them. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, Zedd. An actual story and study and headline that just put the Babylon Bee out of business. How can satire compete with this? This comes from Fortune magazine. People who skipped their poke and smoke are at a higher risk of traffic accidents.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
This is just pure fucking projection.
Yep.
It is. I mean, okay, we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
I can't say what I'm going to say then.
It's hilarious. The authors, it says here, the authors theorize that people who resist public health recommendations might also neglect basic road safety guidelines.
You want to know who ignores basic road safety guidelines? The blue hellhole cities.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Holy shit.
I have a friend of mine who's what does he do for New York? He's motor carrier officer. It's the equivalent that we have here in Michigan. It's one below their state police. And 6 out of 10 people he pulls over that live in New York City or around New York City don't have any type of insurance on their car whatsoever.
Why am I not shocked?
Yeah, because they're not pulling people over for it. They're not even arresting people or ticketing. They might ticket you for it.
Well, I mean, they live near a leftist shithole that says, well, you shouldn't need ID to vote.
And the same thing is in
So why should you
Detroit.
need it for anything else?
In Detroit, there's a whole assload of people driving around with nothing.
Yep. And honestly, I can't blame them. Forcing people to purchase insurance that most of the time they don't need is basically legalized government extortion on behalf of private businesses.
And Michigan has some of the highest rates in the country.
Yep.
You want to know why? Because
What was that meme?
say you're driving down the road, somebody walks out in front of your car, it's not your fault, you clip them, okay, you're found, no problem.
Yep.
It's all good. But your insurance company is on the hook to pay that dude's medical bills for the rest of his life. That's fucked up.
It is fucked.
Listen, look, we're on the planet. When you're here on the planet, bad shit is going to happen to you sooner or later.
This is a good meme. A fan of the show sent this to me earlier today. Licensing. When the government takes away your right to do something and then sells it back to you.
Yes.
That's it. That goes for insurance as well.
As far as I know, in some of the U.S. states, you need a license to collect rainwater. Is this true?
I have no idea.
They have tried to make it literally illegal in some states to collect rainwater.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Like, I'm sorry, did somebody else need it?
I mean, why?
Because
What's the point?
Because really, the U.S. government, because they have become so bloated and so corrupt and so overly bureaucratic, they cannot fathom you gaining access to something that they can offer municipally for free.
Yep.
They can't fucking stand it. If it can't be regulated, they don't like it.
Yeah, and it's basically that's the number one symptom of a government that's gone off the rails.
Yeah. Well, why do you think they hate hemp so much, even though it's one of the most useful things on the planet? The Constitution was written on hemp paper, or whether it was the Declaration of Independence.
One of
way.
the two, I don't know.
But because it's such a robust plant and it's so easily grown in virtually any condition, they can't regulate it if you start to grow it. So they try to make it illegal for the longest time.
Well, here's another thing: is we're bitching and moaning about cutting down all these trees to make paper. You can literally make out a hemp pulp, and there you go. It's a done deal.
There you go.
I mean, what you described, Blake, the government being unable to stand the people who have a modicum of independence, it's really a cornerstone of leftist thought.
Yes.
Like, it just burns them up that somewhere in some tiny fucking graffiti-covered gas station toilet there is someone that disagrees with them. They
know.
can't stand it.
They've emotionalized their politics so deeply,
Yeah.
they just can't fathom it.
These vermin, they are infuriated by the fact that the whole world is not worshipping their every shitty little thought.
Yep. These must be the vermin, that like lurk around in that shit-covered gas station. Like they come out of the wall and they see somebody up there that doesn't agree with them. They're like, asshole.
But here's another thing too: is there's a whole bunch of these leftoids screaming to high heaven about all this bad shit. But the minute you put it under the light of truth, they have to slink off into the shadows because they don't have a leg to stand on.
You are correct. Fine, sir.
They just scream loud enough and hope somebody answers and doesn't check.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they do, how dare you? I just don't understand it myself. I just want to be left alone. That's all. That's all I want.
Just questioning their ideas is already enough to infuriate them. I mean, they take it as a personal attack.
And so they
Just
should. I don't give a fuck.
Suggestion.
Yeah,
that they might not be right.
The thing is when I argue with these people, I tell them the truth and I tell them the facts. And if they think that's a personal fact, personal attack, good.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. If you are so mentally weak that you cannot fathom other people having different opinions, I'm not the problem.
Or an opinion based in fact, in truth.
Yeah. Well, that's the opposite of their entire goal now. It's, gender is on a spectrum. It can change on a whim. And why? Because I want to be able to snarkily correct you on a moment's notice, even if you were correct yesterday, so that I can stoke the flames of my own self-marginalization and outrage. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Suck it! And that's what it is. These people have marginalized themselves. You can't be part of a marginalized group, A, if that group doesn't exist, and 2, if you choose to become a part of it knowing that it's marginalized.
Yes.
I mean, they have invited so much hate towards themselves that, they are now a marginalized group, just not in the way they wanted to.
No.
But, I'm sorry, but if the media, the government, corporations, everybody has your bullshit plastered everywhere. Your flags are flying outside of, federal buildings. Amazon's got your banners up. Disney has to have their whole section promoting black voices. You're not marginalized anymore. You're privileged. And you have a leg up over both dudes in this room and the one on the phone.
Yeah, you do, man.
Because we had to work for what we got. Just saying.
And right now
And
we're
struggling
working.
to
We're
keep it.
working very hard just to tread water.
Yeah.
I mean, we've literally been in a standstill and growth for the YouTube channel for 2 years.
I mean, you guys, if you haven't looked at our social blade during the time, just take a look at the social blade for 2019. And the proof is in the pudding.
Yep.
For this show. You will see exponential growth from January all the way up through May. And then all of a sudden,
Yep.
done.
Throttling.
What are you going to do, man?
And now that the Twitter leaks have dropped, we know for a fact that not only are the big tech sites doing this, but it's at the behest of the government that's not supposed to violate the Constitution. In fact, they're explicitly that shall not be infringed. It really, it's not open to much interpretation. So, well, we'll look the other way as these people break the law because they give us money. See, it's this nice circle jerk.
Unfortunately, you're correct.
Bunch of shit.
Yeah. All right.
I don't like it.
It's horse shit.
It is horse shit.
Yeah, it's
But
really annoying.
oh, that's it.
Ooh, yeah.
Volleyball. Volleyball is always a good sport.
Especially beach volleyball.
Yes. This is Thought Thursday,
Yeah.
so we can't talk about
And
this
this
kind of stuff.
picture is the only reason people watch beach volleyball.
Yeah. And the main topic
Oh, yeah.
today.
If you want to, just enjoy volleyball without having to enjoy volleyball, just Google Brazilian women's volleyball team.
Yeah. Well, today we're covering
Look at the images.
OPP. Other people's penises.
He said as he readjusts himself in the seat. Which is gnarly. Yeah, this farticle from the New York Slimes
Yeah.
is trying to normalize, they're pushing people in the direction where apparently living apart from your spouse or long-term relationship partner should be normal. The wife left, but they're still together. After a pandemic dip, the number of married couples living apart together has started to rise again. And shock of all shockers, women in search of their own space are driving the increase.
Well, women file for divorce 80% of the time. And if they're college educated, they file for divorce 90% of the time.
Yep. So there's the dude in this equation. And even the married woman can't escape boxed wine and Catland.
No, she is there. I mean, that is the typical middle-aged woman right there.
Yep.
She's obviously a feminist. You could tell by her hair.
Short butch haircut.
Yeah,
and
yep.
she works as a shuttle driver for Mizzou University.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that makes, what, 35 grand, 40 grand a year tops?
So I wonder who's really footing the bill for the extra space.
Yeah. I wonder who's really doing that.
The hubby.
Yeah. This disgusts me that we have so many simps out there. They are willing to be literally turned into financial slaves just for the hope of maybe breaking off a piece.
I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, but this particular guy, I mean the husband, he's either really confused about what's going on, or she's blackmailing him with something like, if you stop funding my lifestyle, I will divorce you and I will suck you dry. That's it.
That's all it
Maybe.
takes.
Yeah. That's really all it takes.
It
Because
really
they
is.
have been together for 18, or was it 19
18
years?
years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 18 years.
Yep. What are you going to do?
Yeah, maybe she has some sort of leverage.
It's very possible. I mean, when you live in the Western world, having a vagina is your leverage. You walk into divorce court, you say you're not happy, they give you the papers, they take half his shit, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and here's the funny part. In the states that issue permanent alimony, when the dude gets divorced, they take half his shit, and usually within 7 to 10 years, he's paid the other half of his shit just in alimony.
Yep. I'm checking on it just to see if Missouri has it.
Alimony in Missouri, yeah.
It's calculated based on the length of the marriage, so it doesn't look like...
So it has an end date.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Either way, I mean, these are not spring chickens. Mr. Ordway is 58. His wife, who goes by Ms. Ordway... I gotta love the just the sly little jokes in the New York Slimes.
Yeah,
62, so she's 4 years older.
The big mistake,
Big mistake.
do not, listen, never get involved with an older woman on a permanent basis. It will not end well for you.
All of her shitty qualities, all of her appearance issues, all of her character, they will not get better over time.
No, they will
but they
not.
will
No.
inevitably get worse, much worse.
Yep. And really, that sub-headline really says all you need to know. Women in search of their own space are driving this increase.
Good. Let them have all the space they want. I don't care anymore. I'm sick and tired of hearing about men jumping off high objects to test gravity because they're getting divorced, or shooting themselves, or driving against traffic. You know, I mean, there's just a multitude of horrific bullshit that I've heard in the past 40 years about men getting divorced or going through these brutal breakups and just getting wrecked.
Yep.
Wrecked.
And you know what this reminds me of? Well, two things. One, military wives.
Oh, my God. They were notorious for this. And it's spread
Yeah.
into the regular population now.
They have a stigma and a stereotype for a reason. These are women who largely agree to marry dudes who they know are never going to be home. So they get to have their own space, and they also get to pretend to be single while a dude who goes overseas, fights for his country, probably gets traumatized, and that gives them a gift-wrapped excuse to say, I'm not happy because you're not the man I fell in love with when they come back home. Cue the divorce rate.
That is a fact.
Yep.
That is not a hypothesis.
No, it's a fact.
Or, even better, these guys come back covered with the American flag, and the widow gets everything.
Widow gets everything, and she gets widow clout with which to go out and dupe the next dude.
Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah, I'm not a divorcee, I'm a widow, see?
Yeah, because
Well-
widows don't have that clout. You know, they don't have that stigma, even if she's got a kid.
Yeah.
Men are not going to look at widows the same way they look at single moms.
Oh, no. Like, I don't even have a problem with widows. I
No,
mean,
they didn't sign up for that.
no, they didn't sign up for it. I mean, it's terrible what happened. It is what it is.
Yep.
But, hey, what are you going to do?
But when she's a military wife, that's at least suspicious.
But the second thing that this reminds me of, polyamory.
Here we go. Now, we're going to refer back to some stats as we go through this so you guys can
yes,
see
we
just
are.
how tantalizingly effed up this whole thing is.
And all of these stories basically end the same.
Yeah, listen, if you want to get involved in that, you are throwing your own flying crossbody cock block on your life.
Yeah.
Truly, you are.
Yep. Now, what really cracks me up is just like, that they're saying women are leading the charge in this, right? Let's go back to a Jezebel article. I feel dirty even clicking on this piece of shit website. But this is from 2017. They, of course, extol the virtues of it, blah, blah, blah. This is the most interesting thing. One of the most interesting things Dominus began to note in her interviews was that the majority of the heterosexual couples opened up their relationships at the instigation of the women. Of the 25 couples, only 6 were opened up at the man's suggestion. And even in the cases where it was mutual, the women were usually more sexually active outside the relationship.
Because women, all they really have to do is say yes.
Yes.
And there's guys that'll do, oh, yeah, okay, I'll hit that.
Yeah, I mean, all of it boils down to women's inherent selfishness. I want a traditional married life, but I also want to sleep around, and I also want kids, and I also want to work on my career.
Oh my
This shit doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
And
Like
it never will.
Well, you can have it all, but at best, you'll do everything half as well as you should have.
Yeah.
That is shitty performance.
Yeah, and once the family becomes destroyed by this, especially if there is a kid, the kid will obviously be traumatized. There is a total lack of accountability from these women.
Yep.
Like, they are never going to take upon themselves the fault. They're never going to stand up and say, yeah, I caused this. I mean,
and very few will. If they do, it's for show. That's what I
a
noticed.
woman can literally set the side of a house on fire, causing a major accident which kills everyone inside, and then explain it away by saying, I just wanted to make a point by burning the side, but the fire chose to burn the entire house. I didn't want these people to die.
It was the
So-
fire's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You killed him. Nah, I just shot him. The bullets in the fall.
Well, one of the stats out there is women do 1/3 the time for the same crime as a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the
And-
and then that is the maximum they get.
Yep.
And it just gets worse from there because it goes down to suspended sentence, time served. Go fuck yourself.
And this, plus the princess upbringing, this results in a total absence of grasp on consequences, which means no accountability.
Yep. And the Western bureaucracies encourage this behavior.
Yes, they do.
They
Of
just
course,
they reward
because
it.
it brings them money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you made a bad decision? Oh, it's okay. We'll take care
Well,
of
most
you.
people don't know that Title 4D rewards the counties usually dollar for every dollar they collect in child support.
Yep.
And that money comes out of the Social Security Fund. So when everyone runs out of money for Social Security and everyone blames the government, it's the liberals and the single mamas out there that have done that to you. Just so you know.
Yep.
And they will
What are you
never,
gonna do?
ever admit it.
No, they
Nope.
You're
Even
correct.
when the consequences come home to roost, it's always somebody else's fault.
Correct.
Always. And women will, if you go on TikTok and you look at some of the videos that these raging harpies post, they'll say flat out, well, if a man cheats, he's a pig. But if a woman cheats, well, it's basically excusable because
He
she
should
was
have done better.
Yeah, she was obviously not getting what she needed in the relationship. Okay, well, if a dude were to say the exact same thing,
You're a pig.
you're a pig. Exactly. Now, this open marriage stuff, before we get too deep into it, Zedd, is this happening at all out where you are?
Not really. Like I said before the stream, there are some swingers, but they keep it behind closed doors. We are a small country, small population. You are 2 handshakes away from pretty much anyone. So if this shit gets out, like let's say your wife is dating someone else, you will find out, and everyone will find out. So this social barrier, this barrier of social ostracism, kind of keeps a lid on this kind of stuff.
And that's the shit we lost here in the United States.
Yeah.
We used to have that social ostracism, what the word you said. I'm like,
It's got more than 3 syllables.
yeah,
Ostracism.
but we used to have like, a negative social outcome if you decided to have sex before you got married,
Yeah.
kids out of wedlock, or if you got divorced.
Or if you took drugs and went to a plastic surgeon and started hacking things off or adding things on that didn't used to be there. We used to understand that there was that you had a problem and it needed to be fixed up here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now the idea is, okay, we're going to take the sick mind and the healthy body and we're going to make the body match the mind. That makes sense.
Wow, that was explained pretty good, Bo. That was pretty good.
Is there a single Western country left that is still running mental asylums for patients who are not dangerous to society?
I don't think so.
Now we just have rehab centers,
Yeah.
which are more like resorts.
No, there was a big one here in Michigan. I used to go in there with the National Guard unit, and we used to, do paintball in there and shit.
That sounds
pretty
like
cool.
fun, actually.
Haunted as fuck. But it
I
was
can
fun.
imagine. Yeah, people who die in those places usually don't die well, and they usually don't die on purpose.
And they
unless
don't
they're
leave.
offing themselves. Yeah.
And they don't leave.
Yeah.
They're trapped there, man.
Fucked up in life, fucked up in death. But let's check out this first one here. This is actually a very new article, and I decided to do a little bit of research on the author, and of course, it's a pseudonym.
Oh, yeah.
Can't actually stand by your opinions. Heaven forbid. So the headline, an open marriage didn't save our relationship, it nearly destroyed it. My open marriage began with a desperate plea over dinner. So obviously she opened it up. I just turned 37. So 2 years post-wall.
Yeah.
My husband and I had 2 difficult children. I'd become so desperate for connection, so in need of an escape from the drudgery of our day-to-day lives, I begged my husband to let me sleep with other men.
So
Nope.
she did
Wow.
not get fed
Now,
up.
listen.
She did not get desperate. She just wanted sex.
She just wanted sex from
Yeah,
somebody else.
Pretty much.
So buy a fucking dildo.
Or buy a cucumber.
Yeah. Don't you love how when women buy, a dishwasher-safe man, they're just taking care of their needs, but if a man buys a doll,
He's a
creep.
pervert.
Yeah.
He's a grapist.
Yeah, there's no double standards in our culture at all.
Yep.
I thought there was a chance it would be good for our marriage. I thought it might pump some life back into us. Well, something's getting pumped into somebody, but it's not life.
Nope. Well, it could be if one slips by the goalie.
Yeah, we're going to get to a story like that later. Actually, didn't we already read one? dude was in, a marriage. His wife got a boyfriend, and then she told him that because she was living with the boyfriend now, she considered him her full-time partner, even though she was still married to this guy, and they were going to try for a baby.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is the moment when the shotgun comes out.
Yes, because if it doesn't, you're king cuck of the universe.
When I was going through my divorce,
Wow.
when I first discovered everything, just for maybe 10 seconds, I was like, well, maybe I should let her keep pumping this guy so I could stay with my kids. And then I'm like, fuck no. Evil Pop broke out of the box and, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Fuck off. Bad Pop, get on this. They just beat me down like, fuck you, man. That ain't happening.
Good Pop had a real
moment of weakness.
had a real moment of weakness.
Listen, we all have
Wow,
them.
we do.
But, 3 days later, or no, 7 days later, I filed for divorce.
There you go. Oh, here we go. I wish I could say I researched the ins and outs of an open marriage. There's only one ins and outs you're worried about.
Yep.
Before proposing one to my husband, I wish we developed some ground rules before agreeing to sleep with other people for the first time in our 15-year relationship, but I wasn't that wise. I dove headfirst into a risky experiment with non-monogamy that nearly destroyed my marriage. And I love this. Our marriage had been unraveling little by little for over 6 years. There were years of resentment and years of pushing away from each other instead of coming together. There were years when our bodies rarely touched, even as we passed each other in a hallway. We hadn't slept together in over 3 years.
What the fuck? He should have left.
Whose fault is that?
He should have left.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many guys are stuck in that sexless hell.
And these women want to pretend like it's a mutual thing. No. If you have not pet the dog in 3 years, your husband's going to let you know about it.
Yeah, he's going to run away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
is it really difficult to make a man, a husband, interested? Buy yourself some lingerie, get yourself some makeup, I don't know, learn to dance around the pole, whatever. Add some fucking spice to your life.
You know what it
Because,
takes for me? A good home-cooked meal. Right there. I'll be like, all right, now next. What are you going to do? That's all it takes for me. I'm a simple ranger, man. I don't have a lot of bells and whistles and switches. That's it.
It's like,
Yeah, so
is that homemade lasagna? There you go. That's really all it takes.
So yeah, 15 years of marriage ruined by this stupid Quantaha.
Quantahat.
Yeah, so she asks for an open marriage one night at dinner, and she says, my husband agreed reluctantly. Just a few days later, I created my first profile. I was soon sleeping with multiple men on a single weekend. And she expects us to believe that she wasn't already sleeping with multiple men before she floated this idea.
Should we show the stat what happens?
Oh, yeah, we
have
should.
a stat here.
See, we're disgusting pigs here, but we always have our sources. I'm going to
Yes.
make sure that I add this to the listing on redonkulous.com. All sources are there. This one's not yet because it was added last minute.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'm the one that added it.
Oh, this is beautiful, though. Like,
Because
I wish I would have thought
I'm
of
a
it.
numbers guy, so I'm like, whoa, what are the stats of this? It's fucked up.
It is very fucked up. So let me get down to the bottom here. Health risks. I'm looking for that. Where is it?
Right there. Down, 37.19.
Yeah, here we go. Let's check this out here. Psychological and behavioral issues suffered by Americans involved in non-monogamous relationships. 37.5% of respondents in partial open relationships admit to heavy drinking and drug use. 3.04% of participants involved in partial open relationships reported having experienced loneliness. Now, a partial open relationship, let me guess, the woman says, we're in an open relationship, the guy stays home, takes care of the kids,
Pretty
she's
much.
out getting hosed out.
Yeah, because you
Yep.
can.
Yep. Psychological distress came out as another negative implication, affecting 2.7% of individuals in partial open relationships. 37.19% of participants in open relationships contracted lifetime sexually transmitted infections.
Yeah.
Woo!
Way to ruin your marriage and
Yep.
your life.
And your life.
Congratulations, you're an idiot.
Congratulations. And yet every single one of these people will put in their dating profile on Tinder, proudly vaxxed.
Yeah, and that next one down there, 67.74, we're allowing deliveries directly to the warehouse.
Unprotected sex 2 months prior to participating in the study. So
Yeah.
you're banging multiple people unprotected, and then as soon as you wind up with the herpes
Multiple
syphilitis.
strangers.
Yeah.
Or the hipple-hiv, or one gets slipped by the goalie.
Yeah. And then you give it to your husband.
And the really fucked up thing is that when men are approached by women and they say, my husband and I have an arrangement, 90% of men are like, the alarm's going to go off. Boo, boo, bail, bail. For some reason, when men say the same thing to women,
They're all on it.
oh, yeah.
Now,
I don't know why this is a turn on to women.
I don't know either.
I got nothing.
Side note. While I
Women
was
are excited by risk.
well,
This is a
shortly
risk.
after my divorce,
I think you nailed it.
I used to go on Craigslist, do my thing. But every once in a while, I would communicate with ladies locally. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, me and my husband have an arrangement. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And I'd find out their name. And then I would do some research and find that dude. And I would copy all of the text messages and emails from his wife and send it to him. I did that 5 times. Do you know how many times those men said, yes, we had an open arrangement? Fucking goose egg.
Called it.
All of them, well, they were getting mad at me because I was talking to their wives.
You're
And I'm
saving
like, dude, your anger is going to the wrong person. I'm doing you a solid here and letting
Wow.
you know exactly what your wife is doing behind your back. Don't be mad at the messenger, okay? Go after the person that's doing this.
Woo!
I don't know how little do you have to think of yourself to just allow your woman to be in such a situation? I don't know.
I don't know.
To say yes to this when she comes up and asks you for an open marriage?
I'm going to tell you right now, if you are on your masculinity and you hear your wife say that, it's over. You need to maintain frame, jettison that garbage from your life, and move the fuck on.
Amen. Oh, my gosh.
Because, I mean, even without all of the drama that inevitably follows, she might give you the hipple-hiv.
The hipple
And
hip,
this,
Herpagana
you're
syphilis.
stuck with this for life.
Yeah, and
This is not a joke.
yeah. No.
and a lot of these, like this also applies to the gay community as well. They think because there's PrEP out there that they're safe. And then they have, if you actually catch the hipple-hiv, there's a huge cocktail of drugs you could take to keep it from killing you. But what they don't tell you is literally that stuff will burn your kidneys out in a decade or less, and your liver. So you're cutting your life expectancy way down
Yep.
because you wanted to get some strange. It's too fucking dangerous.
It is. I mean, if you're in a committed relationship and you just want to cheat with permission, obviously your ethics are non-existent.
Yeah, listen, masculine men have dignity, honor, and self-respect.
Yeah.
All right, they should not allow this at any way, shape, or form.
That as soon as these people go out there and they start mingling amongst each other, people with no ethics, no scruples, no morality whatsoever, what do you think they're going to do to each other?
Yeah. Listen, if they're selfish narcissists, doing their thing, all they really care about is themselves.
Yeah.
So they could have all kinds of bad stuff, and they don't care. They'll just sling the seed to the 4 winds, and whoever catches what catches it.
And then you get San Francisco.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, and here we go. The surge of life I felt during this time was rejuvenating, but my husband was far less enthusiastic. He felt jealous seeing me straighten my hair or line my eyes for other men's approval. He slept with one woman during this time, but he was more cautious about this new lifestyle I'd forced him to adopt. Well, at least you're
Forced him.
about that.
But you know why he's upset? He doesn't want to have a mountain of fucking Eskimo brothers.
Yeah. You'd have to do like crazy fucked up latex sex. Just
I mean,
to
how
enjoy
how
your
long
own
were they
woman.
married?
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years.
15 years. Do you know how much
Holy shit.
time and effort that man has expended into that relationship? That's a lot of money and time down the drain.
Yep.
And-
Blake, do they have kids? Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they do.
Yeah, her children were hard,
Yeah.
meaning they both had huge heads and they were both mama wreckers. So she's literally walking around with a whistle sack that she can't go out into any storm with without summoning wolves and coyotes.
Yep. And I bet it smells like roadkill down there.
I would have to. Yeah. I don't want to find
Yeah.
out.
And these kids, in the article it said they're sons. So that's at least two people whose life is ruined due to a retarded mother.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Selfish once again.
Yeah.
Not retarded. Selfish.
Yeah. Yeah, calling these women retarded is an insult to retards.
Yeah.
They are. They know exactly what they're doing. They just want your sympathy after it blows up in their face.
That's right. And you can find sympathy in the dictionary between shit and syphilis.
You're damn right.
Bye-bye.
And eventually, she meets this guy named Colin during the lockdowns. Things unraveled even more after that. Colin and I had been texting back and forth on a dating app since before the pandemic shut us down. Actually, it wasn't the pandemic that shut us down. It was Democrats.
Yep.
Our conversations were light and flirty at first, but they quickly became serious. Soon I found myself texting Colin hundreds of times a day, sharing stories from my childhood and selfies from my daily walks with my sons. I hadn't been able to meet Colin yet, and the tension was building. After several heated arguments and reassurance about Colin's own COVID precautions, my husband finally agreed to let me meet Colin in person. Very soon after that meeting, Colin and I fell in love. And here's the key thing. It was the kind of love I hadn't felt since I was 17.
Oh, okay.
Bullshit, unrealistic puppy love.
Yeah. Well, I would say lust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lust. It's why when
What-
people try to defend the Twilight movies, I'm like, it's about a horny chick that wants to fuck a dead dude. Mm-hmm. Okay?
And what is lust, actually? Oh, that's right. It's one of the 7 deadly sins. And in this person's case, she's literally setting her death trap with it.
My gosh.
And what does she do after this? She bitches about it.
Of course. I didn't leave my family for Colin. My husband came to me one night, tears running down his face, pleading for me to give our marriage another chance. He could no longer watch me fall in love with another man and continue our open marriage. In the end, I chose my family. I spent a final night at Colin's apartment and wept loudly in my car the entire way home, splashing water on my face before I greeted my sons again. My grief over Colin lasted months, but my husband was a spectator to that grief. But now, over 2 years later, I'm still here. My husband and I attend virtual couples therapy, and we don't leave at night to sleep with other people. But our problems haven't gone away, and we're closer now to divorce than we ever were before our open marriage. Well,
Dude,
Closer,
that-
not in divorce.
That dude, I just don't know what to say. That is so fucked up.
what I really wanted was to be loved again, and that need is more difficult to meet with a dating app than an open marriage.
So you see, when a marriage is long enough, I'm talking like 12 years, 15 years, maybe 20, respect replaces love. So there isn't really a lack of good feelings between the two. So if respect hasn't replaced love, then love never really
Existed,
was,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, it never really existed. It was just a fluke.
Now, listen, I mean, I'm divorced, so I'm not the guy to give marriage advice. Don't ever listen to me. I'm telling you, to stay married, you need to do X. No,
You know,
I'm not that guy.
here's the bottom line. You're divorced, but you know shit like this is how you get there.
Yeah. Well, I got divorced because I got wounded in combat,
Yeah.
and then it was a long road to recovery. And she decided, fuck this guy. I'm going to go find some strange D. And before you know it, it's a forest of cocks getting run through the wood chipper. Holy shit. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, it's in your case, Pop, it's not even the act of cheating. It's the act of monumental betrayal. She stabbed you in the back when you needed her most.
That's correct.
it.
And unfortunately, most women are like that.
Yes, they are.
They
And
are 1,000% in it to win it as long as things,
are going well for them.
yeah, as long as things are going well for them and there's no negative repercussions for them and they don't have to give more into the relationship than they're used to giving. As soon as somebody gets sick, injured, loses their job, and suddenly they have to pick up the tab, they're out.
I'm going to be honest. A lot of this probably goes back to when we evolved.
Yeah.
Because you got that guy in charge of the pack. He gets hurt. Another guy comes up in charge, and they're all about him now.
And back then, because we didn't really have medicine, so to speak, I mean, I'm sure a lot of cave dudes, you come home, you get trampled in the stampede, you got a broken leg, they just treated you like a horse.
Yeah.
They didn't have guns, but it's like, well, we don't have a gun, so we can't make this quick, but we'll club you to death.
Yeah. And then cut you up and eat you.
Yeah, I'll take care of your wife.
Yeah. Got it.
You get to feed your family one last time, don't worry. And I bet it tastes just like chicken.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
Well, cannibals say human flesh tastes like chicken. What?
Ugh.
So yeah, if you are ever in strange lands, let's just say, and if someone offers to serve you a long pig that tastes suspiciously like pork, yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. No.
Listen, if I ever find out anyone ever snuck human meat into anything I was eating, I would probably end them.
Yeah.
That is some serious shit, right?
That'd be like, seeing Hannibal Lecter getting put in the van, getting cuffed and stuffed after you went to a few of his dinner parties, and you'd be like, I'll be right back.
Yeah, and he'd be walking in the prison yard, and I'd be a mile and a half away,
Pew pew.
and that'd be it for him.
Bye, Hannibal. We hardly knew you.
Because that is actually something that would drive me to set up on your ass.
Yeah.
That would not be pleasant.
Ugh. Now, unfortunately, this whole open marriage thing, the idea of guys instigating this is becoming more common, at least from what I'm seeing in my research. My research, you go into the polyamory forums on Reddit, and you get, am I the asshole stories and shit, and these stories, they're just everywhere. Look, here's one. My boyfriend asked for something, and now he feels like I've betrayed him. So me and my boyfriend have been dating about 6 months. All things good until now. I've had a pretty promiscuous couple of years before meeting him, and he knows this. It's a bad idea.
Idiot.
In fact, he loves this.
He's a cuck.
Somebody smiles like this. Would always turn him on when I shared stories with him. He's been asking for a threesome / cucking for a few weeks now.
Yep.
And I was originally saying no because I wasn't super into it, didn't think he would really want that. Well, I gave in and went for it, which means that her respect for him, gone.
He probably came from a broken home. Didn't have a father figure to tell him.
Probably.
Or to follow.
And so did she.
Yeah. I asked for days beforehand if he was sure, and he always said yes. He kept saying he just wanted to watch a bigger guy, quote, rearrange my guts.
Oh, my God.
Fine. We found a guy, huge, probably double my boyfriend's penis size, and I let him have me while my boyfriend watched. Turns out, boyfriend couldn't actually handle it.
Shocker.
Didn't say anything until it was over, but it was basically, how could you do this to me? But he probably said it crying tears of soy.
Yeah.
He kept saying how much louder I was and stuff, but he couldn't listen when I said it doesn't matter and I still prefer to be with him because he's my boyfriend. He just won't listen to me. He's been sulking about it for days, and I think I'm over it. I'm just going to break up with him and move on.
Good.
That's actually the healthy thing to do.
Yeah, he should have actually been the one to fucking get rid of her, man.
Well, no, he wanted this.
This is what porn addiction does to your brain.
Yeah.
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 Oh, my God.
You start confusing fantasy with reality.
Yep. It is amazing. I think the whole cooking, wife sharing bullshit is one of the top searched things on all of these sites every year, like clockwork. Who are these sad sack of simps?
These are not the sad sacks of simps that are pushing it. These porn sites, they give you the suggestions by themselves. So it's not like demand and supply. It's more like the supply creating demand.
Yep.
You are getting reprogrammed. Your brain is getting rewired when you watch this shit. It's not healthy.
Yep.
Switch it the fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to agree with you,
Yeah.
Wild Man.
There are young dudes, 18, 19 years old, who have warped their brains with pornography to the extent where when they finally get an actual woman in front of them who takes all of her gear off, they can't even get it up.
Yep.
And they're
That's
at the
the
age when a
logical
stiff
outcome.
breeze can, make you
Oh,
stand
yeah.
at full attention.
Like, I remember being at 16 years old, Christmas shopping with my grandmother, walking through Macy's. I catch a whiff of the perfume. Boom!
Seriously.
Seriously, I'm like, oh, shit. Oh. I'm over there like, ah. But, I mean, that's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
But it's like diabetes. If you eat sugar all the time, sooner or later, your body is not going to be receptive to your insulin that your pancreas produces. It's the same thing with oxytocin. If you're maxing out oxytocin, fornicating like a free range guy, sooner or later, you're going to get to a point where you're like, yeah, nothing really does it for me anymore.
For those of you who don't know, oxytocin is the pair bonding hormone that women excrete in a huge amount when they lose their virginity, and then in a smaller and smaller amount with every new cock that comes after.
And
by the time they're beyond 4 or 5,
it's done.
It's done.
Yeah, and the minute they go beyond 4 or 5, if you were to marry one of these women, your chances of divorce go up 80%.
Yep.
It's already 50% coming out of the gate. So it's almost an automatic failure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Why
because,
the fuck would you
hormonally-
participate in it? Sorry, Z, I stepped over you. What you saying?
Hormonally speaking, she doesn't even perceive you as a human being anymore.
Yep.
You're just a speed bump.
Yep.
Oh,
So
man.
I remember watching some research. There were MRI scans of brains taken, and a porn addiction warps the brain precisely in the same way that opiate addiction does.
Really?
So you get the same type of brain damage.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. But I'm
If I
not
find
surprised.
this research, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
like-
absolutely.
Like, I'm not going to sit there and tell guys out there not to watch porn. I watch porn every now and again, maybe 1 or 2 times a month.
You get bored.
It is what it is. But when I
Yeah,
was
but-
16, I would literally live in front of a TV and feed in one videotape after the next. I would literally still be there up until I was like 32, watching porn 24/7, 365.
Now imagine having it with you everywhere you go.
On tap.
Yeah.
On tap.
You want to talk about getting warped.
Yeah.
And these kids, I mean, like, you got parents buying kids cell phones, but basically as soon as they're old enough to look at the damn screen and type in shit. And half the time they're not even watching they're not even looking at what the kids are watching.
Yeah. I mean,
They could be watching double penetration porn. You think they're watching Barney in the back seat.
I wonder if you can actually, if you have to get a cell phone for your kid, if you can severely limit it so they can
You
call
can.
you.
It's just, what are the chances that the kid is going to figure out the fucking parental locks before the parents do?
No, I mean, you can give your kid a dumb phone or a feature phone, as it's called. It
Yeah.
just has a screen and buttons. It can't connect to the internet. All it can do is
Call.
send messages, and maybe play some music. That's it.
There you go.
I'm totally cool with that.
That's how you
And,
do
and
it.
you know what? That would probably be a really good marketing thing for people today when they have kids.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, you can get this phone, and all I could do is call you, call the school, call the police, and you have 5 other people they can call. They can send text messages just to those 5 other people.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? No internet. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but we live in an age where a kid like this is gonna get bullied for not having a smartphone. So that's another problem.
Well, then you're going to have to flip the bill to take them to Muay Thai lessons and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, or you can homeschool them, which is what you should be doing anyway.
That's right.
Fuck public
Yep.
school.
I mean, the shit that's going on in public school today, I'm blaming all of this craziness that we're having today, including this polyamory horse shit, on the school system.
I mean, they're essentially in pedo school now.
Yep.
These people are disgusting.
Drag queen story hour, anyone?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Sign me up for that shit. Got another one here. My husband wanted to sleep with other people. Now he's upset about me doing it. My husband basically begged for a year, maybe longer, to sleep with other people. He knew I didn't want it. I told him no over and over. I was crying so many times after he would ask. I told him I was depressed about it, didn't want it. Why does he want other people? He said, it's nothing about me. He just wants to see what it's like with other people. That I look good, but he isn't doing it because of looks. Basically, he just wanted to try anyone else. That's one of the weakest fucking
It
excuses
is.
for
And
this
that
shit.
woman should jettison that
Yeah.
motherfucker over the wall. Put
That's
him in
right
a
up there
catapult.
with, I got a lot of love to give.
I'm sure you do.
After he wouldn't stop, I said, fine. Told him I didn't want to do it, but he would not quit asking, so fine, just go for it. He did some stuff with a person, but not full-blown sex. That's all he's done. He told me when he was begging that whole time that I can do it too, and I can go have fun and go away for the night. Dun-dun. Dun-dun.
And here we go.
Well, I wasn't that interested, but I started talking to someone and the conversation just went that way. I haven't felt wanted like this in forever, and honestly, if this is a true story, I don't blame you. Keep in mind, he told me a week ago I can go and find someone and just tell him when I'm going. So I told him last week I'm talking to someone, and the other night said, okay, I'm going to do it. Well, then he comes to me the next day and he says he was sad about it. He couldn't sleep all night, and he's scared I'm going to leave him. I told him honestly, I'm pretty pissed because I feel like for a year he knew how I didn't want to do it, but he just kept begging, so he's getting what he wanted. Now he says he regrets it. Oh, my gosh.
Two confused, fatherless idiots.
Yep.
Yeah. I told him, oh, well, he did it, and it's bullshit to change it just when it's benefiting me. That's turnabout's fair play right there.
Yep.
I honestly might divorce if he tells me I can't because of what he put me through. It's so much shit. I don't want to be a single mom, but I'm pretty mad about this. I gave him what he wanted after all that torment and heartache, and now he's pulling this. He said he hasn't changed his mind, but if he does, I'm done. He wanted this. He got it. He didn't care about how much it hurt me. Now, there's an update, but there's nothing really additional
I gotcha.
there.
Oh, yeah.
So another case of a guy ruining his life and ruining his marriage. So
Yep.
And his children.
yeah, he has a woman. He has a good woman, well, mostly, who doesn't want to cheat on him. He has a kid, and he goes and does this.
And,
So, yeah.
Just because
He
he wants to
deserves
see
it.
what else is
He-
out there.
and
Yeah,
listen,
he had it. He has it coming.
faithfulness and loyalty are lessons that are taught to men
Yeah.
from their fathers.
Yeah, and honestly, this is proof, unfortunately, that some men, they blow past that window of age at 34 where the big head is supposed to overpower the little head, and they're like, eh. Because I know dudes who are older than you, like grandpas. They're still like, oh, I would give you some of that. These dudes who would come into Blockbuster Video when I was working there and rent softcore porn every day.
Yep.
I'm like, how much? I mean, what could you possibly do to it at this point?
Are you talking about what's behind the room with the bead curtains?
We didn't have that at Blockbuster, which is why it was even funnier. You're going to go home and spank into softcore porn. All right, got it.
Well, technically speaking, if a man lives a healthy lifestyle, he can get it up to 8 years of age.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, like my grandma always said when she, would answer the phone during certain periods of time when you really should just unplug it. Don't ever marry a Frenchman. It's the last thing to go on him. You're disgusting, Grandma. I love you. I'll call you later.
Right, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. Oh,
I hope the lights are all off. No one should ever have to see that, not even you.
Oh, my God. That's nightmare fuel
Well,
right
after
there.
that fucking email that was sent to us on Tuesday, you blocked it out, didn't you?
It's pretty creepy.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, spunk in midair.
Oh! Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
It's like catching lightning striking.
That was so horrible. I mean, listen. I congratulate whoever sent that because that was really fucking shocking. Bravo to you. But yeah, oh my God.
Y'all are some disgusting mother fornicators who watch this show. It's okay though. We love you.
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh God. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Am I the bastard for asking to retract the open marriage I begged my wife for? You're going to see a theme in a lot of these Reddit posts. For years, I've wanted an open marriage, or at least I thought I did. I begged my wife, and she's always said no, but she finally agreed to it. I wonder if this is the guy from the last one.
Oh my God.
We agreed to ground rules.
Those don't listen.
They don't end well.
They don't work.
And they usually get ignored. 1,
Yes.
no dating mutual friends. 2, fully disclose our married status on dating apps. 3, use protection and disclose everything we do and with whom. Well, I suppose I should not have been surprised because she's a good-looking woman in her late 30s, but she instantly had dozens of matches, maybe hundreds. On nights when she's home, she spends hours swiping and texting, sometimes disappearing into the bathroom to take selfies. She doesn't say that, but it's obvious.
Yeah.
The other nights she's out, usually coming home in the morning to shower, change, and get ready for work. From what she has told me, most of her dates are younger guys in their 20s, which means she's practiced.
Yeah, that's right.
Meanwhile, I've struggled to find anyone appealing to match with. She has also gradually stopped having sex with me. When she does, it's perfunctory, like she's just getting it all over with. So overall, this is not working for me, and I believe it's damaging our marriage and life together. Would I be the butt face for asking her to call the whole thing off? You were the butt face for asking for it in the first one.
Well, I'm going to be honest. You destroyed your marriage, bro.
Yep.
It's done.
This genie is not going back into the bottle.
You're not getting that back in the bottle, man.
Absolutely not.
So, I mean, Reddit is a cesspool.
Yes,
okay,
it is.
But, I mean, these guys, so younger guys in their 30s, maybe late 20s, once again, porn addicts, thinking that it will be exactly like in their favorite movie.
No.
It will not.
No, it does. Listen, that's all fantasy that takes place on that little screen.
Yep.
Reality is a completely different thing.
This is a great one here.
Oh,
what you
shit.
just said, that you think it's going to be like your favorite movie, you know, like Mia Khalifa made a dozen movies in 6 months.
Yeah.
This is from 4chan this time, and I called this one Nightmare Fuel the second that I read it. It's one of those green text things. Need some advice. So I convinced my fiance to do a swingers thing. The couple we met was a bit older and had a lot more experience. Not super tall. The other guy was 6'2 plus. Even the guy's wife was about the same height as me. I felt kind of intimidated. I felt awkward the whole time, like the guy was really smooth talking and sweet with my fiance, but I just didn't feel any chemistry with the girl. I'm up front that we had never done anything like this before, and they're cool about that. They kind of took the lead. We were in the hotel room with 2 queen beds, so we were each on one, me with the girl, my fiance with him. They had instant chemistry and started right away. They were literally banging before I'd even kissed the other lady. Like I said, really awkward with the lady. She gives me a BJ, but I can't concentrate because they're banging next to us. She tells me it keeps giving me a BJ/HJ, and I eventually finish. I just lay there and basically watch my fiance get plowed for like 30 minutes. He asks her where she wants him to finish, and she says, in her mouth. This really stung because she never gives me BJs, nor would she ever swallow. She just laid there for a bit and then asked if we could leave, but she said she wanted to go another round. I was sick to my stomach and demanded that we leave. We left. Now my fiance is super upset with me and saying I ruined the night. I tried telling her that I wasn't about any of it and that I didn't have fun. She was just not having any of it and is basically being a total bitch about things. I really don't know what to do. I can't get the images out of my head.
It's over. It's done.
And you did it!
And you did it to yourself, brother.
Okay.
It's a done deal.
That's swinging. That's a fetish.
Yeah.
You should not expect a fetish to be a foundation of a stable relationship.
Hell no.
Hell no.
You're absolutely correct, bro.
And once again, the culture of instant gratification. These people want everything. They want it now. They want it just the way they picture it in their head. This doesn't fucking happen once again.
And you are 100% correcto.
It reminds me of that monologue that Justin Timberlake goes off on in The Social Network. You know, the movie that was about the rise of Facebook.
Yeah.
And he said that it's not enough, to do this and that. Now we're going to live on the internet. That is how a lot of people actually live their lives now.
That's
They
so
think
sad.
that the internet, that social media, the shallow validation and clout that they can get from posting something that a bunch of insipid twats like somehow conflates to real achievement.
Yeah. How many
And-
of those
No, it
people
doesn't.
are going to show up to help you move?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
No,
because
if
it's
you
so
are
easy
in
for
a
women
difficult
to get it.
situation.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, Z.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, if you are in a difficult situation, in actual bad situation, like you need help fast, your likes and retweets and reposts,
They don't mean
they're
shit.
worthless.
No.
They are decorations
Listen,
at best.
I have friends that I consider brothers like you. And if I was to receive a call at like 2 in the morning saying, hey, I have this really heavy rug to move, I would be there as soon as possible.
It's a very special rug. I got it from...
Or a large box or a old refrigerator. Got
yeah,
it.
totally, yeah.
Things happen. All right. Now, if
Yeah,
you don't
and,
have...
Or perhaps they need to move into the box that the refrigerator came in.
Well, the thing is, if you don't have a friend in your life that will do that for you, you're a poor man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, conflating the internet with reality, these people think that these idiots on Reddit or on Facebook, they're their friends, because just they're called friends. They're not.
They're
they
not.
don't care about you.
They're barely
faceless.
even associates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're faceless to you, and you should treat them exactly like this. You don't know these people. They're strangers that you talk to sometimes.
And yet, how many times have we seen these, these vapid vunts getting, that they get their insta-twats banished for some reason or another, and then they cry, I'm nothing without my followers.
Exactly.
Family, friends, do you have none of these things? You have spent so much time trying to live on the internet and, get the thumbs up. You don't realize that when the time comes, if you get into a car accident and you want somebody to hold your hand, that thumb doesn't have the other 4 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen for you.
Bravo.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Pretty much.
Fuck these people.
You're
man.
100% correct.
I got a last one here. This one is juicy. You're going to love
Here we
this
go.
one.
Before we start this,
Yeah.
I got to piss.
You got to piss. Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look here. What do we got here? I think we're going to go with Stallone Pop.
Oh, my God. I hate that.
Z, you might not have seen this one. Let's check it out.
Your disease, and I'm the cure.
I apologize.
Good, hey man, you got to do what you got to do. Those never get old though.
No,
So.
I got you.
Billy
watch
Von
him
Bomb
anytime.
is a national treasure.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Billy, you are the man, bro. Last one here, and then we'll start reading some chats, and then we'll jump to new tech.
All right.
I, 33-year-old female, forced my husband, 33, into an open relationship, and now he's leaving me? The best part is the last paragraph. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make you wait for it. Me and my husband have been married for 5 years. 2 years after the marriage, his parents died in a car accident. He was depressed, and we haven't been intimate for a long time. That's understandable. I asked him if he would consider an open relationship. He was really hesitant, but after me convincing him, he said yes. Our intimacy suffered. We have separate bedrooms, but my needs were fulfilled by others. Fast forward to today, he came to me and said he wants a divorce, saying that I put him into emotional stress and abused him mentally for my own benefits. I apologized to him for any pain I have caused to him. He bust out of tears, and I tried to hug him, but he didn't let me touch him and said to me that I manipulated him.
Yeah, and you did.
So I don't have any problems in cheating on him, and I said that if he wants to end the open relationship, I'm ready to do it.
Done.
He said for the past 18 months he's been with this girl who is a psychiatrist at the hospital where he goes for therapy. I didn't even know he was going there. She knows of our whole relationship. He says she made him realize that he deserves to be loved and all that crap. I think he's being manipulated by her.
Oh, my God.
I really don't want to lose him.
That's typical women behavior, though. They do that all the time.
Yep. Homewreckers.
Yeah.
Some it's a fetish.
So, yeah.
They get off on this kind of stuff.
Never mind the fact that he lost his parents in one of the most tragic ways possible at a pretty young age. You know, I mean, not as young as I was when I lost my dad. I was 20. But 33, I mean, that relationship usually becomes stronger after you leave the home because you start to realize that all the shit that your parents told you growing up that you were like, my parents don't know anything. Well, you know what? They were right.
Yeah, they
and
were.
you were stupid.
Yes, you were.
Yeah. And in two-parent homes, we'll say. I know that you're like, I don't know, my mom's kind of an idiot.
I knew she was out of her mind when I was like 12.
Yeah, but in most two-parent homes, you know, when you got the balance of the logic to the emotion, after, you know, you start to, you hit adulthood and you actually start experiencing real responsibilities, you start to realize just how fucking stupid you were.
Yep.
And all that rebellion, you're like, you know what? I'm sorry. I was a piece of shit when I was a kid. And you know what? I'm still here, which means you didn't murder me. So thanks, Mom and Dad. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, if your parents were good people, you should value them really, and you should thank them once in a while because who knows, you might never get the chance.
That's right.
Exactly, yeah.
Because until you're 18, your parents' names are mother and father, but after you're 18, well, their names are pain and misery. So yeah,
Yeah, I got
value what you have.
Exactly, yeah. And this chick apparently didn't value this guy's connection to his parents at all because instead of, you know, topping him off every now and then and trying to instigate the process, she just let the intimacy lapse and decided that she was going to go to Piece of Strange somewhere else.
That's right.
Nice lady.
And after 5 years, listen, this woman has gone far beyond 5 partners before she got married. That's why this is happening.
Bunch of jail.
I mean, just the fact that your wife asks you about this is already a red flag the size of a skyscraper.
Amen to that. Okay, so we have some clips here from Fan I Am. So we'll wait to those until we get to new tech, because sometimes they
we
have
don't
some
wanna get
copyrighted
clipped.
material. We're going to start with shark dentures. Christmas came early for Pop, just like your mom.
Wow. Well, tell her I said hi.
Yeah, tell her I said hi.
And you're a braver man than anyone I've ever known.
Oh, and also before we leave for new tech, we're going to play. We still don't have the video made for it, but Jeffrey Paul has been up my ass with a telescope, wanting to know when we're going to play the music Silent but Deadly Night. So before we jump to new tech, we're going to play that for you. It's only a minute long.
Yeah, you guys will love it.
Shark dentures again here. Definition of property tax: the government turning something you own into something you rent.
Oh,
Bingo.
Amen to that.
wow.
It's all corruption. Alex Patino, I sent an email with 2 links and an article, 1 video on the uses of hemp if you want to share it. Hey, yeah, dude. Thank you very much for that. I'll make sure that we grab it, and I will add that to the list of sources for this stream, and I'll just put some hemp facts in there. Thank you very much, Demaster 12. The tyrant hates anyone with dignity and independence. The tyrant wishes to be in their glory, so the one is hated by the tyrant is an enemy to their power.
Yep.
Aristotle. Yep. Fan I am. He sent over a lot of stuff today. Girlfriend's gift. Karen Karma. 3 clips of guys being guys. We'll get to those on New Tech. Evil Zombie Toe. Remember to season your meat with Starburst ahead of time.
Oh my God.
Make sure the flavor really sets in.
God, can you guys just let that go? That was horrific.
It was
Keep
absolutely
re-traumatizing me with that because I'm so weak.
munging.
Oh my God.
Dung is fun. Blake, I don't know what kind of people you have been eating. They taste like pork, not chicken. I haven't been eating anybody. Cannibals are the ones who say human flesh tastes like chicken. Unless it's been the darker meat, it's possible. I might have a tinge of Popeyes in it then. Demaster 12, God, women, thou shalt not make the Lord thy God. Tap the sign. Your desire shall be unto your husband, and he shall rule over you. See, women, feminists especially, love to fixate on the part where the woman is supposed to submit to her husband.
Yeah.
They love to completely omit the part where, in return, men love their wives like Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
Whereas
He will die.
dies for you.
Yes. They don't seem to get that.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that part.
Yeah. Listen,
Because then
That's what
they
you say.
I have
in the
been
church.
there on the cutting edge of death.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen exactly what that entails, and it is not easy at all.
Not pretty either.
No, and it's not pretty at all. Oof.
All right, I'm going to start laying these links in here. And while I'm doing that, y'all can enjoy a little bit of music from Jeffrey Paul. It's not his usual brand of shredding.
It's comedy
I'm not
gold.
sure what you would call it. Silent but deadly night for the first time on the air. Here we go.
Oh my God! Comedy gold. He needs to have a toilet flush at the end.
Well,
Yeah.
technically it's not silent, but it's sure deadly.
That's very true. I just thought it was a funny title.
Do you know how many times I've heard stuff like that in the airport bathrooms?
Oh, yeah.
Like you get off a plane and somebody runs right there and you're like, download.
Just makes you want to write on the walls in permanent marker, doesn't it?
Oh my God. Comedy gold, man.
Shark Dentures wants to know if I missed one of his chats. Nope. I read them both. You had 2, and I read 2. So thank you very much for those. And everybody on YouTube watching, I already put the links in the chat there. So if you guys want to empty your squirrel bladders and jump on over to New Tech, we're going to have some better butts and some more chats for you. And who knows, if you really want, we'll play the song again. Z, stick around, man. We're not
Yeah, I
done with
will.
you yet.
All right,
I have
bro.
a small story to tell later.
All right, man.
Oh, perfect. Oh, we'll open with that when we get to New Tech. We'll see you guys in 5.
All right.